I'm happy for Waino. I really am. And I'm happy he did it the way he did, and it wasn't like 5 innings, 5 earned, and they won 6-5. I'm happy for Waino that he went out with a really nice start.
He won.
I really am.
That was all him. Do we have any sound?
I was pulling that up right now. Our Wi-Fi is slow today, so I had to reboot it. But who's this person towing the line? He goes, I curse Dave Zobrist for ruining this show and subjecting us with these unironic hot takes. That said, the Waino stuff is cringe and pathetic. It's like...
Poor Dave Zobrist. He's getting cursed at.
So he's ripping on you?
He's ripping on me, but he agrees with me.
Yeah. Put a name in.
He just doesn't like you personally.
Lord.
Which is...
Sanderson.
Well, that's okay.
Sanderson said he knows a place Watson could go in St. Louis. Oh, that's cool. Send him a DM, baby. Let him know.
Daniel Jones sat on my bench and put up 35 points. Daniel frickin' Jones of the Giants.
Really?
Deshaun Watson's horrible. He's horrible. But back to Waino.
Great guy.
So the crowd was crazy last night. It was the loudest it's been all season. So obviously people did care. The crowd was a good crowd. They've been drawing again. The ratings are still went over 3 million. Like, to me, it kind of underscores it's been awful, but people still care. Now, look ahead to next year. Of course, after Waino sings his 3 songs. Then
Might be 5 now.
Then we'll look ahead to next year, and they better get starting pitching.
I got 200.
New song he just wrote called Chasing 200.
I got 200 for them Redbirds. Can't wait to hear what he's got coming out. Now on to better things, like country music.
Did you see what he tweeted out, the name of his new song?
No.
He did tweet it out.
Did he?
Kiss my butt, Cole.
Oh, he got you. He got you. He probably does know
You
about
Yankee.
Cole. He probably does know about Cole.
I'm the only one that likes your music, dude. I got your back.
Oh, that's a lie, too.
Pucker up, pretty boy.
I told you.
Pucker up, pretty boy.
I liked that song. I mean, I kind of joke about it for the show.
Cole. Okay.
Let's not start doing revisionist history.
Come on.
I've said that on the air. Charlie knows because he actually listens to everything that's on this show. Well,
yeah.
I want to go see.
Back and
I want to go see the newest movie.
What is it?
I don't know.
You want to see a movie?
Waino's singing about it though.
Oh, I get what you're saying.
Come on, Cam. Are you
sorry.
kidding me? Jeez.
I'm sorry.
It's the only lyric we play.
Sometimes I don't know if I don't know what he's doing over there sometimes. That's all. It went over my head.
Mocking it. You movie, however he said
I'm pronouncing it movie for the rest of my life.
Because you were mocking it.
Yeah,
so don't say you like the song.
I did.
It don't work on me.
It wasn't
did.
subtle. I like. Hey, you were mocking it. Yes, it was very obvious that he was mocking it.
Yes,
it
but
wasn't subtle.
No, but he just said he likes the song.
I do.
No, you're lying now.
Chasing 200.
I've said this on the air before. Somebody on the text line has to be able to confirm this. I've said on the air before that little clip that we play.
That's funny.
I don't think it's bad. I like it.
That's
fine.
like love. That's like
It's
love.
fine. It's not horrible. It's fine.
That's not bad, but I'll mock the way he sings it.
Cam's the real hater.
Charlie's the one who's like,
I'm the real realist.
He just
You were
took
hating.
all,
I'm
he
the
just took all
realist.
the most generic country lyrics ever and
No,
just
realist.
mashed them all together.
Yes.
He's a real lyricist.
And guess what?
Yeah.
They all do that. All the country artists do that. It's all
But
about.
they know how to sing.
Okay, but it's all about whiskey and my pickup truck and my girlfriend and my
They know how to
dog.
sing.
They all do that.
They know how to sing. They know how to sing.
Morgan Wallen, every song is about whiskey.
Listen to his voice. Fantastic.
Oh, he's great voice.
fantastic.
But the
Fantastic.
songs are all pour me
Pour me
another drink.
drink.
The whiskey talk last night. They're all the same.
Yeah, but he's pretty dang good with that guitar. He's got
He
a
is.
great voice.
But Wayno's a pretty good baseball player.
And that means nothing.
Except in folk music, it's always about the forest and the sunset.
In all fairness, Waino lowered the bar pretty hard going for 200. He wanted 211 at the beginning of the season. Microbiologist Jack, who told me I can't critique. What'd you chirp me about yesterday? I forgot.
I don't know. Here's Waino addressing the crowd.
Go ahead, baby.
But I love this city.
Three, two, and one.
I love being a St. Louis Cardinal, and I love that I got to play my whole career here. Thank y'all so much for embracing me. I love you.
Why didn't we just take the clip off Bally's where I interviewed him, where it's going to be a lot cleaner?
I'll grab that too. Here's Wilson Contreras first.
Wilson Contreras, a solo home run in this one, the only run of the game. Waino gets 200. You're emotional. How happy are you for Waino?
Man,
Couldn't even
he's been grinding through this season. I'm really glad that he pitched this year to reach to 200 wins. I've been emotional the whole game. I'm pretty sure that I felt that tonight was a night for him to go out here and do his job, especially against a good team like the Brewers. And man, he feels so good that, and I'm proud of him because I know he's doing his best, and that showed me how much.
Star Wars?
Yeah, what's the Star Wars music for?
The fact that you're so emotional tells me this was a team effort getting Waino to 200.
Man, it takes everybody for him to get to 200. But I'm really proud that I was behind the plate tonight. We were in the same page the whole game. And I'm glad that he celebrated because he's been busy for a long time. And I could see in his eyes that he wanted this so bad. And I thank God to keeping him healthy this season and just reach out to 200 wins.
That's good. So I don't get why. Yeah, we're on the field.
Yeah.
They're waiting for Waino was not on the field.
It's
We're interviewing.
fantastic.
And then he came out. Why are we laughing?
It's fantastic.
I was laughing at the music.
So was I. I'm like, what's this Star Wars music going on?
Well, because it was. Never mind. No one's at the game because no one was at the game. No one's watching. No one cared. No one cared. You guys were right.
They were going crazy last night.
Here we go. It'll sound better this
All
way.
right.
Career
There it
win
is.
number 200 for Adam Wainwright. How good does that sound?
It sounds real good. It took me a little while to get there, but it made me savor it even more. You know, I'm so glad I got to do it here in front of our home crowd. So glad these fans were unbelievable for me tonight. There was times where, you know what, just being honest, I was tired out there, and they got me through it. So, man, what a night. What a night, you know. I was glad I got to deliver for the guys
Luke
tonight.
Combs?
You've had over 400 career starts walking out to the mound for this one tonight. Did it feel any different, honestly?
Not going out. I felt like we were going to win this game when I showed up to the field today. I felt like we were going to win this. We were going to find a way. But walking off the field, I felt like it might have been my last inning. I was hoping that it wasn't, but I felt like it might have been. And that felt a little different. It did.
The whole team was behind you every step of the way. I think it was underscored by the fact that Wilson Contreras, who hit the homer for the only run of the game, is bawling. He was more emotional than you. What does that say about how the team supported you?
Well, this team they've had my back all year. You know, they've been with me through thick and thin. They've always encouraged me. These guys never stopped encouraging me when I was going through my worst patch. You know, these guys kept hugging me, kept patting me on the back, kept lifting me up. And I just couldn't have done it without them. You know, I would have stopped playing if it wasn't for my incredible teammates. Yeah, man, what a blessing. What an incredible night. Thank you, guys.
Well, Wilson was always on his side, man. Although at the beginning of the year, you know, they didn't want to pitch to him, but he stuck by their side. He did.
I give Wilson a lot of credit.
I like him, man.
Because that guy's been energy. Look, I think the lowest point was he's going to play outfield at Wrigley. Nope, he's not. You know, he can't catch up. We're going to Wrigley. We're going back. And he had one of his best series. I mean, he was great since the All-Star break. I think since June 25th. He's like
Crushing.
a 350 hitter. So, I mean, it was in a bad spot for him there. And I was there. There's like 50 reporters. How come you can't catch? They say you can't catch. He held his head high, and then he went out and had a great series. I give that guy all the
I
credit.
like him a lot. I like him a lot.
Good old Willie.
I just think it was hilarious at the music in the background because no one was there.
I love how you try to conflate these things.
I've been hearing no
As
one
if-
cares.
As if people... You really think people are as interested in the Cardinals the last couple of months as previous
To
years?
be fair.
This is not black and
that's
white.
a straw man.
No,
To be fair.
everything you do is a strong man.
To be fair.
That's a straw man.
To be fair,
what I
Charlie
you
said
said
the
no
whole
one,
time.
no one cares.
Charlie
you said that.
Charlie
I
said,
literally cited YouTube data, which I can show you based on interest. That's not straw man.
Charlie
It's
said that no
literal
one-
data.
Charlie
And I
said
can
no
show
one
you
cares
literal
unless Waino's
TV
pitching.
ratings on Bally's that it's still the number one
Of
primetime
course.
show in St. Louis.
Have they gone down?
That doesn't mean that have a
No one
tiny
ever
bit
argued
yet.
that.
No, you
No one
said
argued
no
that.
one cares.
No one ever argued
You've
that.
said no one cares.
We
you never
get
said
it.
that?
Relatively speaking, yes.
I didn't notice the asterisk on there. I didn't notice the. You guys have been saying no one cares. We've been like ignoring, and I'm saying no. People are still there. No, the crowds are. Yeah, they're down a little because the team was horrible, but
That's what
people
we've all
still
said.
care. That's all I'm saying.
That's what we've all said. No one. No one
No,
ever
you said
does
no
black
one
and
cares.
white. No, it's always in the gray. I've said literally, I've looked at the data from the interest of Cardinals post-trade deadline. That's all I've said. I literally
On
look at the
YouTube.
numbers. Yes, that's
And
Cardinals
I have literal
content.
numbers of television where they're still the most watched thing
Of course.
in St. Louis.
Let's bring in
that
the ratings.
tells you people
okay,
care.
tomorrow, bring in the ratings month by month. I would like to see them.
I would
I'm
love
not
to see
saying.
that.
I'm not saying
That
they're
was
not.
my point.
I'm not saying there's a difference between obvious. Look, I don't think it's rocket science to say when the team struggles, there's going to be less interest.
That's all I've ever
That's
said.
a far cry from no one cares.
That's all
And if
I've
you
ever
say
said.
when I said no one cares, I put a little asterisk on it.
That's
so
literally-
all I'm doing is pushing back against that.
Okay, but that's all I've ever said. If you're having an argument against somebody on
All you
Twitter,
ever said
that's
is no
fine.
one cares.
Yes, relatively speaking, Kat. Of course.
Okay,
I look at the
relatively
data
speaking,
every day.
They do care then. So I guess we're all in the gray together.
Yes.
Happy 200.
Which is where I live, in the gray. I've said that for a million years. It's always in the nuance.
I live in Crystal Lake Park.
Yeah, I never make these broad statements. We know people are still watching. We know people are still going. And last night was fantastic. But to act like the last 2 months, post-trade deadline, that people are as interested in the Cardinals
I never
is
said that.
insanity, which is all I've ever said.
And I've never said they're just as interested. I said when I hear no one cares, they still care. I've said it on right here on this microphone. They're still getting good ratings. Good ratings. I never said the same ratings they would have get if they're headed for the playoffs. Never said that. Good ratings. Good enough to be
I don't know
number
who you're
one.
arguing against. Maybe somebody on Twitter got in your mentions. I don't know who you're actually arguing with right now because it's not me.
Because you've said no one cares.
We talk on the show. Cam and I say we don't watch
like
the
we've
games.
we've mocked this.
Cam,
What?
do you watch Cardinals games?
I fell
usually?
asleep.
No, you've said
I
it too.
do watch Cardinal game. I do. But I'm at home and I don't have kids. I put it on every single day I have. If there's a
Did you
Cardinal
watch
game on,
200 last night?
I
That's
fell asleep.
different.
I fell asleep.
I watched last night.
That's why I didn't text you guys back when you were chirping on a text line.
Wayno has been the reason to watch. Wayno Starts has been the real reason to watch the last 2 months of Cardinals baseball. And that's not just me. That's every single person that I talk to for the most part. It is.
For me, it's Taylor Motter, and he's not there anymore, so I refuse.
Oh, man.
The fact that you're like fighting that is odd. I know you
It's
work for
odd.
Bally's, but the Cardinals aren't good
It's
this
odd
year.
that you say no. You've been on the show. We made it like no one cares because they're so bad. And all I'm saying is people are still watching. People still care. It's odd that you push back against that. I'm saying I've said it before.
Well, you're putting words in my mouth.
Well, no, your words were no one cares, and then you said when I said it, what I meant is comparatively speaking to the other thing. No, people do care, and you're pushing it back against me, saying no, people do still care.
Of course.
Then we're good.
Dude, we
Happy
get
200.
we get that
You
you work
know
for
me, I'm
Bally's.
Mr. Bally's. I care. You're the YouTube guy. I looked at my YouTube when I
Show
said
me
when I did the
ratings.
hit that the Cardinals weren't good. People didn't like it.
Okay, show me I want to see the ratings tomorrow, month by
No,
month.
because I'll show them. I'll just show you that they're number one in prime time, and they're down.
Of course
comparatively.
they are. Of course.
Why?
I don't know.
Why
I don't
are they
know
up
what you're
four?
arguing against.
That no one cares. Why
Dude.
would they? If no one cared, why
Who
would
got
they
in
still
your
be number
mentions
one?
that really bothered you? You really
That's-
think we
that's
talked
really
about
what it is?
We
Go
talked
look.
about the Cardinals for an hour yesterday.
Call on my
For an
Twitter,
hour.
see if
Give me
anyone got
that
in my
phone.
mentions.
Let me see your
Bring,
phone.
bring me the ratings.
Let me see your
You're-
phone.
No, now I have to show you my Twitter and the ratings.
You don't.
I
You
just
don't
go
think
by.
I can show you actual data?
I don't care what your YouTube data is.
We know.
I don't live in YouTube or the gray area.
Play a drop. Play a drop.
Dude,
what's going on?
Yes, you don't live in the number 2 website on earth. Right. I'm sorry. YouTube is this small little thing that
We'd
there's not
all be happy
millions
today.
of people
See, that's
on.
another straw man. I didn't say
Not Russell
that it's
Brand
not
anymore.
I said I don't live in YouTube.
All I want to see is the ratings.
It's a perfect illustration.
Just
I
show
never
me the
said
ratings.
it doesn't matter. I said I don't live there.
Show me the ratings.
All right.
That's all I want to see.
Okay, I'll get
Show
'em
me
from
the
my
money.
PR.
Made the economic upheaval of the past 4 decades.
There you go.
That just
That settles
sums
it.
everything up, doesn't it? Sometimes you got to have a Biden.
I
drop.
think people are mad that Wayno got 200.
I think somebody in
Cole
this
is.
room might be mad.
I didn't think he'd get there.
I did.
I don't know where that. I didn't know where that 7 scoreless came from. I
looked
was
pretty
wrong
good.
about Pujols last year. I was wrong about Wayno this year. And I'm not saying at the start of the season I thought Wayno would definitely get it, but when he was trying for 199, I was like, I don't know if it's going to happen.
But once he got
I was
199,
wrong.
you're like,
I'm
okay.
giving him his credit.
Yeah. Oh, man. What's up with them drops? They don't work today?
They were taking a while to load.
Oh, really? I'm just asking. I'm just asking.
I don't know.
Name me one.
See, that's all you need. When there's a fight going on, the Biden drop just settles everything down.
If you have a problem figuring out whether you're for me or Trump, then you ain't black.
That's
right.
That's
Jinx.
right.
That's white.
Should be happy.
Do we know that?
Wayno got 200. You should be happy.
Yeah.
Who?
You.
I am happy.
No, you're fired up.
I'm not fired up. I'm texting.
You're
my,
real fired
my
up.
PR guy so I can get you data.
That's what I love.
Oh, I want that data,
I just
baby.
like facts.
And also go through my Twitter to see who got in my mentions.
Well, you're real angry.
Give me your phone.
There's somebody at Bally's who has like a chart of this.
Well, I used to get them every
they
day.
have analytics people.
No, you get them the next day. You get the ratings the next day. I used to get them all the time. You get the whole market,
I would love to see
the overnight ratings. No, it's fascinating. Again, I used to look at these all the time. It's super interesting to see what people are watching.
The crowds, and the crowds have been pretty good now. I'm just saying, it's been. I'm surprised too because it's been awful. There's been not a lot good to see.
I'm not
But the
surprised at
crowds are
all.
Still there. I am.
I said the other day I went to a game. It was still fun, but there wasn't a lot of people there, and that was the start that Wayno pitched really well against the Padres. Nothing that I'm saying is crazy and outlandish that when a team does poorly, the interest drops and the attendance
I didn't
drops.
say that.
And we
I
all
agree
know,
with you. I
we all
agree.
know
I
tickets
disagree
sold.
with no one cares because I've heard that and I've pushed back against that because people do. Maybe not to the same extent if they're bound for the postseason, but they still
And
care.
that's all I've ever said.
And that's all I've ever said. So I guess we're the same.
Are you
except for
Pete
the-
and repeat?
Except for the guy in my mentions who got it.
Who is
Somebody
that?
fires
Who's
you up.
mentioning? Man. Oh, God. That shirt looks good on
You
you.
know,
by
man,
the
I
way,
get-
Joe.
Thank you.
I get so mad about Twitter. That's really, really wicked.
You get mad about something.
Oh, I got worried on Twitter the other day. Like, don't get me wrong. Twitter can get you if it wants to.
Twitter's a cesspool.
Oh, man.
I like Twitter. I came in on Cole last night because he put out the
Cole's
shooting
funny.
of the
Cole's
horse
funny
in
on
the
Twitter.
pasture.
Cole's pretty funny on Twitter. I know he's up late, too, because I see the when he what time he posts. He just probably should be in bed. But he's up and he's
Steelers
he's
game
getting the
took
good
forever.
word out, Charlie. He's getting the good
What's
word out.
that?
Spreading the word.
Spreading the good
Spreading
word.
the hate.
Spreading the good word.
Only sometimes.
He's
No.
Well, he did have the.
You're
you know,
usually kind of a hater, though, to be fair. And I like you, but your MO is to be a hater.
It just comes naturally.
That's what I'm saying. You're a contrarian.
You're plowsy and waiting is what you are.
No,
It's that
Yes.
seat,
I'm sober.
Jim. Oh. That's right. And you're going to stay sober.
The only thing I know about Plowsy is that he's high, and I know that from these people, and we've said that on the air.
Yeah.
I don't know anything about him. I don't have anything
He's a
against
good
him.
dude.
guy.
I don't
But
have
on
anything
Twitter,
against
he's
him.
Great at drops.
He's a great dude.
great
He's
at drops.
great at drops.
Great at
But
drops.
on Twitter,
Better
I just noticed he just chirps everything. Like, I don't see him post,
He is
man,
mad.
I really like this player. About anything, it's always a rip on something.
It's weird. Like radio will do that to you, I think.
I like Scott Rowland. I like Scott Rowland a lot. Favorite Cardinals player ever.
Scotty rolling?
Grew up loving him.
Cool.
Really?
Yeah.
Why?
Because my aunt who lives here, she would mess with my parents because we were all obviously big Pirates fans. She would send me and my
Obviously.
Yeah. If you couldn't tell.
Obviously.
She would send me and my brother Roland and Pujols gear, and since my brother was left-handed, he would get the first baseman, and I would get Roland. And so I was running around the house wearing Scott Rowland stuff all the time growing up.
So where did your hatred of the Cardinals come into play?
When the Pirates got good in 2013, 14, and 15.
Who was that first? Pedro Alvarez?
Pedro Alvarez.
Who destroyed the Cardinals. I used to have nightmares about him.
He started at third base and then just got the yips like Chuck Knobloch, and then they moved him to first.
And then he stopped hitting.
Yeah.
Didn't he have like years where he had 30 homers?
36 home runs in 2013. He was tied with Paul Goldschmidt, I believe, for the National League lead that year.
And
then
18 of them came against the Cardinals.
probably. And then, like, within 3 years, was out of the league.
Amazing.
I don't know how that works.
Get him in, by the way, 855-282-8255.
Who's your favorite pirate of all time, Cam?
Andy Vance like,
Good answer.
Pirate of all time. Oh, man.
Dave Parker.
by Andy Vance like.
Barry Bonds.
I didn't want to do the same as you because we're
Yeah,
fighting.
yeah,
So I
it's
went
like-
Dave Parker.
yeah.
Oh, I'm not fighting. I'm fine.
Big Andy.
I feel great. I'm not mad.
I feel terrible.
Oh, we know. You're fired up.
Morning, boys.
Morning.
Jim, you're also wrong, but not having a plushy hat on when the rest of the press box did last night could have cost Wayno $200. Get it together, Cat. Shane from Washington State. I don't know what he's talking about there. I kind of butchered
it
that a
wasn't
little bit.
the
my
press
bad.
box. Chip and Brad had that Cardinal. It's like a big Cardinal sitting on your head hat.
Oh, yeah?
And I did not.
Supporting the team,
I
man.
did not do that.
Charlie and his YouTube data that nobody cares about. 586, put a name in. Wow, can you say meltdown? Good job, Marlo. E.
Who melted down?
I think E is referring to Cat melting down because he said, good job, Marlo. Or he might be chirping you that you melted down. I don't know. Jack Bass chimes in and goes, if it was any other pitcher than Waino, they would have been released or sent down months ago. He has 4 wins and 21 starts. Not very good.
Well, of course.
It seems like the Cardinals are more concerned about padding player stats than winning. Yeah, I know, but they weren't winning.
Well, I mean, at
and,
this point.
like, we've been talking about this for months. Like,
His ERA was 8
we
two
know.
starts ago.
We know. We've been chirping this for months, Jackie boy. You know that. Come on now. I think Charlie's right, but this whole mentions and data is pathetic.
How is that? No. How is that pathetic? Data is facts. This is all that I've ever said. And it's really odd that it's being painted this way as someone who loves baseball and the Cardinals more than anything. What I'm saying is so painstakingly obvious that Cardinals baseball is not as interesting when they're not good, and they're never like this. And people were super into the season early. And even trade deadline, when we thought, okay, it's over, but it was interesting to see the moves. People are going to be, again, right back to skyrocketing interest this winter when we go and get all these pitchers. And last night was really, really cool. But to act like interest is not going to drop on a percentage basis and that we're arguing that is the most insane thing that I've ever heard.
No. Again, this is what I don't, because someone was in my mentions.
Why do you keep bringing that up? Like, it's clearly got to.
Because it's like the Tucker thing. You keep going to it like you got me.
No, you always go back to it.
It's such a joke because it's hilarious to me.
Is it?
Guess what?
Well,
He was great last night.
Guess what? I say things that I think are funny, whether or not anyone else
agrees. It helps if other people agree.
So I keep doing it.
We know.
I never said interest hasn't dropped. That's a manufactured argument. I said I'll push back when it's been said on this show a couple times. Cam even kind of was part of that. No one cares.
Oh,
they
Cam
do care.
Cam.
Now your point is, when I said no one cares, what I meant was as comparatively to the dynamics of the other situation. Okay, if you would have said that, hey, their interest has dropped, I'd say, I get it. It's
Jim.
terrible. When you say no one cares, and my data is people are still watching the games, people are still showing up at the games, means people still care. Done.
This is a straw man argument.
Yours is.
Jim.
Yours is. I never said interest hasn't dropped.
Jim, we do.
Charlie.
We're adults. Yes,
Charlie.
we're supposed to be adults. We do a 3-hour show every day. We don't do clickbait. We have long conversations about the Cardinals. When we talk about the Cardinals, we talk about them for 70 minutes. We don't do these gotcha arguments. Every conversation we have when it's the Cardinals are long, drawn-out, thoughtful conversations. We invite the text line. We invite the callers. We don't do this little all-or-nothing crap. We don't. We've never done that, ever on the show. Whatever you're trying to do, when we have a Cardinals conversation, we bring up facts. We bring up records. We talk about it. We have different opinions. This is how we talk about the Cardinals.
What did I do that isn't
very nuanced?
What am I?
If no one
what am I
cared,
saying?
we would stop talking about
200.
What am I saying that doesn't fall in line with that?
Listen, just
saying
have
they're
your
number
argument.
one.
It's very odd.
I'm saying that they're number one in primetime ratings. They're still drawing. People still care. Now, if we're in the gray together, that interest has dropped, and we can debate at what level has interest dropped.
Which I've always said.
We both agree. That's fine. But don't say that we're arguing because I am standing by the fact that interest hasn't dropped.
Why the hell would I take a test?
I've conceded it. I'm saying all along, people still care.
Of course.
Okay.
No one's
then we're
arguing
done.
that, for
Then we're
Christ's
done.
sake.
Stop them. I'll veto
Jesus.
He'll veto it. He will veto it. There's a difference between having the game on your TV and caring. Live sports are going to be number one in prime time more often than not. Guaranteed the ratings are down. Fans need to go an extra step to watch Cardinals content on YouTube. If the data is down, no one cares. Danny Boy, the
By the way,
make a big difference.
this is nothing against the St. Louis Cardinals specifically. We talked about the same thing with the Blues. It would be the case if Mizzou football wasn't bad. It would be the case if the soccer team wasn't bad. This is more about the new landscape. There are so many things to consume. Great TV shows, great streaming, great podcasts. It's obvious. If your team is not winning, I mean, Cam, it's the same with the Blues. This isn't like Charlie doesn't like the Cardinals. Charlie doesn't like the Blues. If you have a bad season, there are too many other options for people to go out there and be entertained by nowadays.
I like the Battlehawks.
Battlehawks,
No,
too.
you don't.
Yes, he does, though.
You don't.
He likes
Unless you
watching on
go.
TV.
I watch it on TV.
You watch?
I did.
Do you watch the soccer team?
The St. Louis one?
No, the one in Tacoma.
Yes. I'll be watching it live in a couple weeks. I'll tell you that right now.
Oh, I didn't
and I'll
know
be
that.
the first
Oh, I didn't know
one
that.
from this.
Oh, I didn't know
from
that.
this here show.
The
to support
XFL is
that
a
team.
joke.
Can you
I didn't
please
say
take
that.
selfies? Look
Yeah.
at me. I'm at the game.
Oh, yeah, man. Oh, just wait. Oh, just wait. I'm due for one of those too, by the way. A good little media sesh, little video, pictures for Instagram. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
You should have taken a selfie of you snoozing through Waino's heroic start last night.
Passed right out. See ya.
While he's still pitching?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, even I watched almost the entire game last night.
Nobody
because
cares.
that was no. But we've said this on the show. Do you disagree? The Waino starts the last couple months are by far the most interesting thing about the Cardinals team. Cole, I mean, we do this. We have a Waino hour-long discussion. No, but for everybody. You even read the data on the downloads.
Oh, yeah, our Waino segments definitely are at the top.
But that's not just us. That is the most interesting thing about the Cardinals season. It is.
I know. I typically go to 5 to 10 games a year. I haven't gone to a single game, and maybe watch two on TV. But that was because the lack of offseason moves and the net promises made me uninterested in this team. Spartan 4-4. Great guy. Sorry, I had the hiccups there for a
I was
second.
about to say,
Dude, if I
heard
get
something.
the hiccups on the show, you're going to have to take over. Actually,
Cole does?
Cole's,
Actually, yes, Cole take over.
Yeah, Cole's probably like, why don't you have a soda, Cam? Drink that.
Yeah,
if I drink a soda, guaranteed hiccups. Boom.
And by the way, I'm the same with coffee. But what that gentleman just said in the text line,
Yeah.
that's what I have also heard from a lot of Cardinals fans. And they're not saying, oh, I'm never going to watch the Cardinals again. They're going to be locked in and bought in next year, hoping the Cardinals are really, really good. They're going to be very interested in what the Cardinals do this offseason. But I've heard a lot of that same sentiment from people that usually go to games, that usually watch every night, and it's just obvious. But that doesn't mean, hey, that doesn't mean you're down on the Cardinals' big picture. I think the Cardinals are going to be good again next year. But this has been an awful season.
Awful. And yes, attention wanes when the team is awful. I'm just saying, Cardinal baseball is so important. Good or bad, people will care, especially when the team is still relatively close to being competitive when you go to last season and the season before.
Who kicked Marlowe's dog? God, this was going to be a good one, too.
Oh,
Son of a. Who kicked Marlowe's dog this morning? Charlie needs to take a chill pill. The Mad Hoosier.
I'm the one
Charlie
that's happy.
ain't got no dog.
I'm the one that's happy about Waino. I wanted him to get
I'm
200.
happy.
I am.
Good morning. Whose career would you rather have, Waino's or Lester's? One spent his entire career with one team, while the other spent it on multiple, but with multiple titles and playoff wins. Mad Marine.
More titles you get, I think the better it is, to be honest.
How many does he have? Does Lester have?
I think he has 3.
Oh, yeah.
Plus, he broke two curses,
Yeah.
Red Sox and Cubs.
How many wins?
200.
200.
On the dot?
Is it on the dot?
Yeah.
And when he had that one more try with the Cardinals, he was actually pretty good.
So he got that with the Cardinals, 200?
I guess so.
I don't remember.
I don't remember a lot of
I know.
Was there
pomp and circumstance.
Was there one more year after? I'll look it up.
Because we wanted him to come back a little bit.
Yeah.
He wasn't bad,
And
obviously.
I like it, too, when a guy has a reputation as being kind of like prickly and not that nice, and then he comes to your team, and it's kind of the last time at the trough, and he's as nice as it could be.
We need a John Lester concert. We need a John Lester feature at the Waino concert.
I agree with that.
They need to play some music, and then out comes
Well, it's easy to do.
John Lester out of the dugout.
It's easy to do. It's easy to transition from a ball player to a country music star. It's easy.
Mm-hmm.
It's an easy step. You know? I got to try to
I
find
just want to so it's song number 3, and Waino said, I know, I told y'all
Told you.
I'm only going to do 3, but I came up with this new one. It's a little song entitled Cole Kiss My Butt. And as he's singing, here comes John Lester out.
Yeah.
He's got one of the little Waino guitars.
Yes.
And they do
The
a
duet.
duet.
How cute. And it's about you.
I would love that.
By the way, John Lester, look up his numbers. He and Waino's numbers are essentially the same.
Twinsies?
I mean, dang close to identical.
Who's a better singer?
We're talking wins, ERA,
tiebreaker.
WAR, real close.
I had to podcast a show last night. Charlie's comments about Waino's future country career was maybe the worst take ever on this here show. Cam, thank you for not backing down on your takes. Charlie saying he would be open for Luke Bryan type act. Come on, idiot. He said idiot. I probably should have read that. The Wombat.
First of all, I didn't say that Waino would open for Luke Bryan because he was as good of a musician to typically open for Luke Bryan. I said they're all buddies.
Yeah. Like a little make-a-wish
you're right.
deal.
I'm 100%
You're right.
And I
Come
would
here,
put,
little boy.
I would
Come
put
sing
money
first.
on that. If Wombat wants to bet in the next 5 years,
he's
you will
right.
see Adam Wainwright open for a big country star in St. Louis.
Like he's doing him a favor, like a little
Yes.
kid. Like, come up here.
Which is
Here,
what I said.
Look, you're good. You're good. Go ahead.
Did I not say that?
No, I agree with you on that. But he took it the wrong way.
People on the show need to listen.
I did
need
listen.
to listen.
See, no, wait. I did listen, and I'm agreeing with you. But he just heard on the podcast, and he probably thought something different. But you said kind of like a Make-A-Wish thing. You bring him up. He plays this, that, and the
I
other.
didn't say
please.
Make-A-Wish, but that's a
Well, whatever.
That's
You
a
know
good
what I'm
reference.
talking- Yeah. So all good. No big deal. Blues are announcing their captain. Who do you think it's going to be?
It
Shenner,
should be Shen.
I think it might be somebody else.
which means
Why
you
not?
know.
I don't know.
Yes, you
who's
do.
the
No,
guy?
I don't.
You do know.
Yes,
No,
you
I
do.
don't.
Yes, you
no.
do.
We had
Liar.
other things we had to talk about.
Lie.
No. I forgot about. I didn't know about it, so I didn't really dig into it. But I don't think it's Shen.
Which is the one player when no one would stand up for the Blues for their teammates? Who was the one
agree.
that did it?
I agree.
You get to see.
You're damn right. I agree with that.
You think it's Thomas? It's going to be Thomas.
Well, and the Wombat put this up here too.
Cam knows, right?
Of course
no,
he knows.
I don't. I didn't even ask.
Yes,
it.
because
No,
you knew
we're-
all along. I think
I
you
was
knew.
talking
Hold
to
on.
Biz
Hold on.
yesterday and stuff like that. Nothing to do with the Blues.
But you knew. I think you knew all along that Jamie Rivers was getting the TV gig.
I mean, that's easy.
I thought it might be Joey Vitale.
Wait a
10
minute.
games for Cam.
All right,
Yes. Go.
listen. I'm gonna talk to Charlie here for a minute because we have to
boy.
get back on the.
I don't
same
wanna
page.
talk.
Get the
you.
Biden drops ready.
If unless you have like a real adult argument.
10 games for Cam. 10 games for Cam.
What was that about?
We wanted Cam to get
Stupid
some
fuck.
games
Oh,
on
that's
Valley.
right. That's right.
God.
So,
Joke.
Charlie, you've been at this a long time. Me and you have argued 10,000 times on. You know how this game is played. When you want plausible deniability, you pull something out of the ether like, no, I was talking to Biz all day, so I didn't have time. He brought up that he was talking to Biz, so he had no time to find out who would be captain.
Oh, he knows. It's
Of
going
course
to be
you know.
Thomas.
And when you bring up something that is, you were on the phone for 17 hours with Biz.
Oh, yeah.
There was no time to look at a text.
Oh, yeah.
Ask him. He knows all the inner workings of every
He
team.
don't know that. He don't know that.
At least my team he does.
Cole, he knows. He just can't say it.
I don't know.
Well,
I don't know.
I think
That's fine. Just say, I'm not sure, whatever. I don't know. I was on the phone with Biz. That's a lie.
I think we need reparations on this show. I think Cam.
Excuse me?
I think Cam needs to tell Kat. And
Cam
then
gets him?
and then Kat leaks it over the air the way that you did with the Stiefel patch.
Oh, I screwed that up, didn't I? I screwed that up.
I don't
didn't
really remember that.
I ruined it.
Oh, you
They
also,
backed out.
Cam broke the Stiefel patch news like 8 hours prematurely.
you also did the Leroy Glover thing. So,
Oh, I
yeah, I
did a
mean,
couple-
there's a lot of
there's a couple
reparations
things.
due.
Couple things.
And the kids' captaincy.
Oh man, what's that? Oh yeah,
Yeah.
we
Jim-
broke that.
Jim wanted to do a big reveal with Kiz on the air, and then as Cam's throwing it to break, he goes, Cardinals captain Andrew Knizner coming on with us next.
Oh, yeah.
I don't even remember that.
I've screwed up a couple things.
I don't know, just
A couple things.
I
here
thought
and there.
it was funny.
A couple things here and there.
the Stiefel patch
let me-
cracked me up.
Let me try this, though.
patch.
Do you have any knowledge? Do you have any knowledge whatsoever about who might be getting the C with the St. Louis Blues?
No,
You're
I don't.
It's Thomas.
You want to bet on it?
Is that reverse psychology or reverse psychology?
Is this the Kid Rock drummer, the one time that you had a good poker face?
What you want to do?
How long is
I
Shen's
like that.
contract?
I want that $20
Shen's
back.
contract like another 3 years, 4 years?
27, 28, I believe.
So 4 years?
I believe so.
Okay, can I read this off my phone? Here's what I asked my PR guy, and it's early. You asked
guess.
me to
Get the
get
Biden
it.
drops ready.
Is it last night's ratings?
I just said, good morning. please help me. Can you send me some short, easy bullet points on Cards TV ratings? Thanks. I didn't ask him to send anything good, or of course he's a PR guy. I get it. He's not gonna. He said, I'm just reading I don't have much, but here are a few. Number 2 ratings in MLB this season. 24 straight seasons in the top 4 in MLB. Number 1 programming in primetime in St. Louis.
Of
That's
course.
all I got now.
But that doesn't help your argument at all.
No, because they've
No, it
been
doesn't.
bad. They've been bad all season.
Kat, you're almost making me like I have to dislike the Cardinals and Bally's, which I don't.
No, because
This is about the last couple months of bad baseball. That's all I've ever said. We know Cardinals fans are the best. We know Bally's ratings are always 1 or 2.
right, Cole.
I was talking about the one bad year that they've had in 20 years. That's all I've said.
And all I've said is people still care. That's the whole, and that's
Jesus,
my
that's not
argument
even
in
the
a
argument.
nutshell, and that backs that up.
Here's
Now,
what I want to see. All I want is this is all I want, and I don't know what the numbers.
That's not data.
I'm just going to speak, so I'm not talking to you anymore. I'm going to speak into the ether. All I'd like to see.
I use the word ether.
I would like to see the Cardinals ratings by month and what they are this year compared to, let's say, last year. By month. That's all I want to see. Nobody said the Cardinals aren't great. Nobody said Bally's isn't great. Nobody said isn't the best fans in baseball and they watch Cardinal baseball. I've said
Did I
the
say
last
any
couple
of that?
months the ratings are going to drop. It's pretty obvious. I don't even know why we're arguing this. I just would like to see the ratings.
Okay, and let me just say this. I never said Bally's is great or the best fans. I said people still care. So these ratings, because the Cardinals have been bad all season, this is where they are. Now, I will ask.
Those weren't ratings. You just said the last 24 years. Of course.
No.
Of course. They
No,
were
no.
great for the last 20 years.
Okay, but that, again.
That's not the argument.
They're number 2 in MLB this season. That is a rating, okay? Number 1 programming in prime time this season, as awful as it's been. That
Of
is a
course.
rating for this year.
Of course.
Now, I will ask him, hey, can you give me some numbers on if there's been a decline since the All-Star break? I will. He ain't going to be able to get that like that.
Who,
but
Ether?
I'll ask him.
He
I'll
has
do it
those-
tomorrow.
You don't think they have those numbers for advertisers? You have the numbers the next morning.
It's not even 8 in the morning yet. He's at home. He's probably in his pajamas. I will ask
Poor
him for
guy.
that.
All I'm
He's
saying
breaking
is
down data at
what you
7 o'clock
what
in
you
the
just
morning.
read did not help the argument we're trying to have at all. That was not the argument. You
That
keep
was not
changing
your
the argument.
You're trying to shape my. All I said is people still care as bad a season it's been. So it is in line with exactly what I'm saying. People still watch this season as bad as it's been since the beginning.
Let me ask this question.
No. Is your argument that literally that I'm saying that 0 people watch? Are we really having that argument?
No.
Like,
I'm pushing
can we
back
be
against
adults?
the notion that no one cares. And
Jesus.
That's the Cardinals.
Yes,
I
people
ask-
were really saying no one, like
You don't
0.
think there's a difference between? You don't think there's a difference between like no one cares, meaning that no one's really watching, and they're still number 1.
Jim, if someone on this show, again, I don't go back and listen to every segment. If someone on this show said no one cares, do you really think they meant 0 people show up and 0 people watch? Is that really the argument you're trying to make? That's what you're saying with the word no one. Really? You think we're thinking no one watches?
I'm going to try this one more time.
This is absurd.
I'm going to can I?
One more time.
I'm going to try it again, then I'm going to give up. I never said you said no one's watching. My point is, if no one cares, there'd be such a substantial drop in the ratings that the Cardinals couldn't be number 2 in all of baseball because they've been bad all season. So people still must care. Are the ratings down? Is the baseball? Yes. But all I'm saying is people are still watching. People still care. I never said Bally's is great. Cardinals never lost a game. It's been awful. I'm surprised that they're still number 2 in all of baseball.
I'm not.
Because it's bad baseball. And I think the point is, yes, they still care. No one said that no one's watching, even though you said that I'm taking it as 0. What I'm saying is not enough to drop them out of the number 2 spot, which I think is telling. People still care. That was my whole argument.
We're talking
All
about
good.
St. Louis, though. We're talking about what people consume in St. Louis.
I got a question.
We all go around and talk to folks. We go to games. Like when you go to a game, last night was great. We're not even talking about last night. If I go to a game a couple weeks ago and the paid attendance is 35 or 40, we know we had this discussion on the show. The next day it was probably like 15,000 or 18,000. There is a difference. I don't know how we're actually arguing.
We shouldn't be.
It's really odd.
You're
You're
not
both right.
surprised that I'm surprised that as bad as it's been, that there isn't a dip in the viewership this season.
No, because that's not how, in my opinion, that is not how people consume baseball. And someone on the text line, this is how I watch
baseball. Well, they want to
baseball.
go into oncoming traffic.
Okay, that's fine.
Do we think that's bad data, though?
No, what
That's
I'm saying
flawed
is
data. Who's watching it on television?
people usually, like I usually have the baseball game on TV. It's usually on in the background. And I think most people in St. Louis have the game on, and they'll be doing things with their family. They'll walk by. They'll check in. This team is not very good, so people aren't as locked in. This is not really
I
that
never
debatable.
disputed that.
Can I ask a question?
I never
You had to
disputed.
put on your windshield wipers.
I don't know what
to
you're
get
arguing.
Literally, the
I don't know
oil
what
slick
you're
off the
arguing,
window.
so we're in the same
We
boat.
should be in a good mood because it's not raining oil, like it was in Delaware.
There you go.
You know what I mean?
Causing cancer.
What is Waino going to do his next start?
He's not going to start.
He's not going to start. He's done?
Don't you think he should just be done?
Yeah.
Nope.
Taking it back.
Taking it back.
Taking a bat?
I do
Taking it
think
back.
he
Taking a
should-
bat? What do you guys
I
think?
100% think that you should step in the batter's box. Absolutely. Especially on the
Okay.
last game of the year.
So
Do whatever you want.
Pinch
today,
With a guitar?
today on
Yes.
today on the pregame show, which I will admit doesn't get the same ratings as the game broadcast, but my goal will be to ask Waino to get something about what his plans are. I don't want to. It's not the kind of thing you ask, in the wake of what
No.
he did.
Yeah.
But I think fans, that's what the next thing fans want to know. Not a lot matters now what goes on. I think fans care if he's going to try to get in that bat. I think that's legitimate.
Okay.
And that's something fun.
Get him into that bat.
That's fun.
Let's go. I'll watch that.
You would not watch. You can go
Well,
to sleep.
depending on what time it is.
And Cole will please strike out. Please strike. If Waino
I
goes
played
to
high
the plate,
school basketball.
Cole is going,
There it
please
is.
strike out.
There it is, baby.
The number one pick overall. Play that one more time.
I played high school basketball.
Yes, I did, baby. 98, 99.
He shows up with the biggest mask I've ever seen.
Biden.
Yeah.
That's funny.
You said that during a debate.
Shut up with the biggest mask. Oh, God.
That- by the way,
Yeah.
back to politics.
Yeah.
Whether you love Trump, hate him, but the fact that he's not involved in any debate is really unfair to the entertainment world.
True. That is true.
My God. I just want him up there, man.
I
do.
didn't see
I
any
want
of
him
the
up there.
I didn't see any of the interviews that he's done. I guess he's done a couple. I just saw one clip, and his hair looked a mess.
Oh, yeah.
The last one he did with Kristen Welker,
I bet you he's going to start aging.
he looked older.
Because he's
Looked
at
older,
that age.
and his hair was a mess. I mean, to me, it doesn't matter what he says at this point, because he's got legal obstacles that he has to get through if he'll be an actual candidate. But his hair looked a mess, and he looked old.
Because when you get
Am
to
I
that
the only
age,
one that saw
all
that?
of a sudden
Oh,
you start
no.
aging really fast. Mm-hmm. You just, all of a sudden, boom, your body's like, okay, I've had enough.
He always had the thin, wispy hair, but now it's just all over the place. It's even thinner and wispier.
Look at your phone.
What?
So we stay organized. Remember we talked about this
Oh,
yesterday?
yeah. No, we're rocking and rolling.
Okay.
For,
Let me know.
for now.
Play the drop, and then we'll
Okay,
go to
okay.
break whenever you see. This is what's going to happen.
I got
if we're
you.
rocking and rolling, just to cut the break, the breaks up a little bit more organized. I told him to play this drop if you got that ready.
Ba-da-da-da-da,
So if we're
5
like,
and
blah,
4
blah, blah.
and what's his name?
Stone Cold.
That's who it is.
Oh
That's for you to come through?
no, that's to go to break. Like I get, you know what I mean? To break the glass.
That is,
Keep it organized.
that
I'm
is the
trying to help
theme
you
song
out.
of Schnucks and Mark's Appliance.
Yeah. Because I called Cole yesterday. I go, what do you think about the show? He's like, maybe just get a little more organized. We talked about it here and there. So I go, how about this? So we don't get off the rails and we need to go to break. You play that drop and be like, whoa, okay, we're good. Regroup, do our lives, and everybody's happy.
I'm not even cutting
happy
up this
200.
segment. We've been
Did you
rocking.
ever watch back in the day
Actually, maybe I will.
the Dan Lebitard show when it was on ESPN simulcast, TV and radio? All right. If you didn't, you probably won't get this reference, but it was very funny. So normally in radio, you can break whenever you want.
Yeah.
So they had a hard network out at the end of, I think, every hour. They had, like, you were going to commercial no matter what. So they made it a fun part of the show to try to set up each other to get cut off at the end of the break. So, like, Dan would know that with 8 seconds to go before ESPN's going to go to commercial no matter what. Doesn't matter if you're in the middle of a sentence. So he'd always throw to one of his partners who then would forget and they'd cut him off in the middle of the sentence. And they would do it every day, and it became this hilarious inside joke with the show.
Well, that's what we should do right there.
So it's a hard break where
No matter what, they're cutting people off. So they would purposefully finish their sentence and throw to a co-host with like 4 seconds to go. The co-host would always forget about the hard network out, and then it would just cut him off in the middle of a sentence and go to commercial.
Love it.
There's no way the Cardinals are number 2 in the ratings. The same pollster that came up with the Hillary Clinton-Trump polls must have come up with the Cardinal TV ratings. Mayor of Newtown.
You're right.
I never argued that, by the way, just so everybody knows. That was never my argument.
Rough year, but last night was pretty special, wasn't it?
Oh, very special, very special. And, it was really nice to celebrate something during the season. So everybody in the clubhouse, all the players, coaches, front office, everybody was really excited.
So talk about what we saw from Waino in his last 2 starts. You've caught this guy a lot. There were outings where it looked like maybe it wasn't there anymore. And then suddenly he rediscovered it, 199, 200. He was Waino using every tool in his toolbox. How did he do that?
I think you nailed it on the head right there. He pulled it all out of his toolbox. I think he really started to sense that he had to bear down and get these wins and, pretty much give it every single little bit of gas left in that tank. And he did that those last 2 starts. And especially yesterday, he looked really good. And that's against a Milwaukee team that's tough to pitch to. They can swing it a little bit. So, he had everything working. The velo might not have been there, but like he said in his post-game interview, it's not always about how hard you can throw it, but how well you move it around and keep those hitters off balance, and he certainly did that last night.
So, Kiz, we've had this discussion. I'd like your opinion on this because now, we're all happy that Waino got 200, and now we're trying to figure out what's the best way for Waino to exit as a Cardinal. Is it last night where he never pitches again? Do you bring him in for that last home series? I mean, does he pitch again? Does he maybe just warm up and then you bring him off for an ovation? Or, and this is just, I'm just throwing out, so whatever you think, Waino wants an at-bat. So do you give Waino an at-bat final series? And does it matter? Does it matter if he were to strike out versus get a hit? Like what's the best way for Waino to exit as a Cardinal is my question.
Yeah, that's a good question. That was starting to become a topic of conversation after the game last night. Will he pitch again? Will he want to pitch again? It's going to be hard to top an outing like that. Although we have confidence that he can do that. He can go back out there and probably win his next 2 starts and finish with 202 wins. But it certainly was a good game last night, but I'm sure Waino, he wants to finish the season strong. I'm sure he's going to be out there pitching again. Just because, he was so focused on the win, winning that 200 game. Now he can he has something else to pitch for, and that's, his last few times pitching. So either way, he's going to go out there and give it everything he has, and, the fans are going to absolutely love it.
How about this? I just thought of this. What if you go full circle and that last series, you could have multiple opportunities to do this. Everybody knows Adam Wainwright really hit the scene as a closer in the 2006 World Series. What if his last outing is closing a game, let's say on that Friday or Saturday night in a Cardinals win?
I'll put it this way. I think all possibilities are open. I think anything can happen. And I'm just hoping that they do something special for him because he certainly deserves it.
Kiz, it's Cole here.
Yeah.
What was that
He's here.
Yeah, what was that post-game celebration like in the clubhouse, and what time did you get home last night?
It wasn't too long. Ollie spoke. Mr. DeWitt and Mo both, gave a little speech for Waino, and Waino talked a little bit, but, had a little champagne toast and really just a nice moment for the team. Like we said, the season hasn't been going the way we wanted it to, and to be able to celebrate something and, really celebrate Waino, who has been, the guy for the Cardinals for 18 years. That was a really, really nice moment for everybody, and we certainly enjoyed it.
For me, watching that whole thing unfold, what kind of made it more special was watching the reaction of Wilson Contreras, who was bawling because he wanted it for Waino. And to me, that showed how, I think fans chirped along the way when Waino was struggling. You guys were all on board trying to get Waino across the finish line?
Oh, 100%. You know, that game right there, that, and even Mr. DeWitt said it in his speech to Waino in the clubhouse. He said that felt like a playoff game. You know, that's how much this team cares about, you know, making sure that he gets that milestone because, you know, that's the Cardinal way. I mean, he's done so much for us as a team and an organization, and we're just trying to give back and really bear down and you know, try to do something nice for him and play as hard as we can to get him that 200th win. So he appreciated it, obviously, and, you know, everybody was so excited to see him finally pull through and get that 200.
And even though this has been obviously a rough season, I feel like Waino getting 200, it's kind of what everybody had, fans, and you guys are motivated every day, you're pros. But, you know, last night, and I say this just because this is a rough season, but last night was kind of the World Series for the Cardinals for 2023. Things haven't gone well this year, but it was a really cool moment. We're used to a lot of cool moments with the Cardinals in September and October, and even though it was kind of odd the way it went down, last night was really cool at Busch Stadium.
Yeah, absolutely. The fans are great. You know, they were into the game, and you know, everybody was fired up in the dugout every single inning. You know, going up there trying to, you know, we didn't score many runs. We didn't give much run support, but guys were competing their tails off at the plate to try to get some runs across, and the defense was amazing yesterday. So all around, just a great game, and everybody's so excited.
Do you guys all come together and give him like a gift, like a car or like a really nice guitar or something?
That hasn't been talked about, but I'm sure that we'll probably get together and do something nice for him.
All right.
Because I got a question.
Whoa.
Cole here.
Cole here.
Who are you?
Cole here. Sorry.
Who are you?
Sorry about that.
I've already
Kiz.
introduced myself
Going to
on this
know
phone
what to do.
Sorry about that, Kiz.
Hey, we reminded ourselves earlier in the show that John Lester actually got win number 200 with the Cardinals, and we kind of just completely forgot because it wasn't a huge deal in the media, certainly not to the level of Waino, and because John Lester obviously wasn't a Cardinal for nearly as long. Did you guys have a big celebration for him, and what was that like?
We had something a little bit different for Lester. I think he got his 200th win in Milwaukee, if I'm correct. But we had instead of a champagne toast, I'm pretty sure we had a Miller Lite toast for Lester because that was his beer of choice. So everybody had a little Miller Lite, and that kind of fit his personality perfectly.
To get 200 wins, like I know people are like, well, what's the difference between 199 and 200? I know baseball people like just because it's a round number, it's a milestone, but it's becoming like there used to be a lot of 200-game winners. I don't know if we're going to see that many. I think there's 3 or 4, a handful of guys who have a shot at it now. Don't you think that it's becoming more and more of a difficult milestone to get to the way baseball is these days?
Absolutely, because it's a longevity milestone. And you not only have to be a good player, a good pitcher, but you have to do it for a lot of years. And the way the game's going, it's just tougher and tougher to hang around the game for 18 to 20 seasons to get those numbers and get those records. It's just the competition has been getting higher and higher every year. There's more and more guys coming out, throwing hard, pitching well. So, you know, that just shows you what kind of player and person Adam Wainwright is, somebody that can pitch for that long and be that good and make adjustments day in and day out and, you know, really commit to the process of going out there and trying to compete and win for his team every day. So it's a really, really special milestone for him.
All right, last thing before we let you go. I mentioned Wilson, really, really emotional. I mean, before we interviewed him, he had to take a little time to compose himself. God bless. Did you get it all emotional? Maybe squirt a few tears when that was coming to fruition? Did it get emotional for you?
I'm more of a smiler when happy things happen. I'm not much of a happy crier, not really much of a crier in general, but you know, he's certainly very emotional, and you know that was awesome to see. You know how much he cares about getting that done for Waino, and you know everybody in that. You know, it was just like I said, it was just a great feeling in that clubhouse, a great feeling in that dugout when we got that win, and you know, like I said, everybody was, whether they were smiling big or tears of happiness, tears of joy. You know, it was a great moment.
That was fun last night, Kiz, man. Keep doing your thing. We'll talk next week, and appreciate you always coming on here, dude.
Sounds good, boys. See you guys.
Right on.
See ya.
See you, Kiz.
See ya. Thanks.
Andrew Knizner. Like we said earlier, though, I wish all respect to Wilson Contreras because I like him a lot, man. I like his emotion. But I would like to see Kiz catch last night. That would have been kind of cool.
Yeah.
But hey, man.
It worked out great.
Yeah, exactly. Because somebody chimed in, too. Like, you guys got to give Willie a little bit more credit here. I'll read it real quick. Well, I lost it. Okay, never mind.
Just so you
it was
know
a good
about
one.
Kiz, too, he's already lining up post-baseball. He's a sculptor.
That's what it is.
And he's going to do a one-man show, and I hope we all attend.
Mm-hmm. You know. Let's see here. Do you know
you don't
what?
have a friend who's a sculptor, so that doesn't make you angry. You had a friend who was a really good sculptor but couldn't get a one-man show, then you'd be angry at that.
You know what I'm saying.
I have a friend who's
You
a
know
pottery
what
player.
I'm saying.
He disagrees with you.
No, he doesn't.
Yes, he does. Oh, you think
he doesn't.
so? You think he's lying?
Yeah, I think he completely agrees.
You
with me.
think
I
Jim
think
is lying?
I think Jim doesn't think that. I think Jim still thinks the way I'm thinking on this whole Wayno country music star. I just think I'm being a little bit more brash with it.
Wait, so you think when I say 40%, I mean zero?
No, I just think that you know it's far-fetched, too. I think you understand where I'm coming from as
it's
well.
not likely. That's why I
I
put
mean,
40%.
well,
I just
40%
think-
Coin
pretty-
flip. Pretty much coin flip.
I'd say less
40%?
than that. I'd say less than that.
I would take
I said
60.
pretty much.
I think the
40% is essentially a coin flip in the betting world.
Is it? I didn't know that. I would always take 60 if given the choice. Also, I would take
See the
guys
word
who
essentially?
who weren't captured. I would also take guys who
That's
weren't
right, John McCain.
captured.
That's right. We got to find
I don't know why
clip.
that stuck in my head.
We got to because there's
I
just
like
so
guys
many.
who weren't captured.
There's so many.
I just think based on who he knows, what he's put together to this point, the fact that people know who he is,
Yeah.
I think getting to where he wants to get to is going to be a lot easier than some guy who doesn't have all those assets at his disposal.
Do you know?
Or her disposal.
Do you know why? I think Cole hates Adam Wainwright. Timmy Van Gelder, by the way. He represents all the people who have had advantage that. He represents all the people who have had advantage that immediately step into a second career without having earned it. For instance, each one of you on the dais got your radio gig by springboarding from the other platform. It's why Cole could love to stick to. It's why Cole would love to stick an ice pick in your necks as he climbs his rightful place to the top.
Like Yukon Cornelius?
Oh, who was that?
That was Timmy Van Gelder. That was deep.
And his rightful place?
He's right, though. Like, here you go, radio gig right after I.
Okay, but he's a
retired.
data analyst. That's not radio's not his number one gig.
Jimmy's like, Jimmy's been doing radio right when he wanted to
Yes,
do
it
radio.
is.
Okay, but you
Charlie wanted to do radio. He did radio.
I chose this.
You know,
you're supposed to be
We
a
got
data guy.
springboarded.
Okay? You took somebody else's radio job. You should be doing data analytics.
Well, I've took a lot of people.
excuse me.
I took multiple jobs on this show, apparently.
Wow.
Oh, jeez.
Well, you did kick one guy out, but I don't know how I was pushed. Like I springboarded. Like I filled in on a show.
Well,
then
you
they
had the
liked-
name. You know what I mean? You were doing TV in front of millions of people.
Yeah, but
that
I
don't
was still
that
new
no one
at the
cares
time
about.
when this whole thing.
That no one cares about.
Which you agree with me on. What you're
With
afraid
no
to
one,
say.
no. It's still. I'm not getting back into it.
We don't have to. I just think it's funny whenever Jim and I argue, you almost always agree with me and you never say it.
Well, you did say nobody cares, and then Jim.
Oh, God, the semantics. You guys.
You did say it. You said
You
nobody
guys-
cares. We don't need to talk about it. I'm
Jeez,
like, Jim's
Cam,
like, well, here are the
Cam,
numbers.
You've said the same thing. Are we really? Here, hold on. The last thing I want to say in this.
You have said it, and I'm pushing
Do you really
back
think?
against that
Do you
point.
do you really think that argument was about that anyone on Earth really thought that 0.0 people were watching a Cardinals game or 0 people were attending?
No.
Is that really the argument we're having?
And
as
did
adults?
anyone say
I don't know
that-
why I'm getting dragged
Did
into
anyone
this.
say Bally's is great, the Cardinals are great, which is the argument that you made to counter it? Again, we're in the gray, okay? It is your
Which is where I
argument
live.
semantics, my argument is semantics.
No, my argument is not semantics. My argument has nothing to do with the Cardinals.
This show has talked about the crowds, no one cares, so I push back by saying, look, people still do care. That was my point. You took it as 0, 0, 0. I never said that, and I never said.
You said
that's
no
what you
one.
were
You used
saying.
the word no one as a literal
Right.
word.
Right.
So you thought that I really thought
Well, I'll go through it again.
0.0 people
I'll go
watch.
through it again, even though I said I wouldn't.
Let's just stop. It's fine.
You never said 0, 0. I never said great. But what I said was, as bad as the season is, the data on television shows that they have maintained a lot of viewers.
My point is,
A
Cam
lot of
agrees with
people
me and he's
still-
afraid to say it.
Man, why are you dragging me into this argument?
Because I'm tired of this
My
with you and your
God.
little phone. Give
I
me
already
that
got
phone.
enough going on.
Give me that phone.
See,
You're
I already
letting
got-
him die on the vine, and he doesn't appreciate
But
it.
why am
that.
I
Hey.
dragged into this?
Hey.
I already made my point about Wainwright
Give me
and
that
his music
phone.
career. I'm not. I'm talking about
Give
other
me that
things.
cell phone.
I was talking to Biz all night last night. I just had no.
Give me that cell phone, boy.
Here you go, sir. Here you go, Babcock. Oh, God.
name
I'm making
dropping
$7
with
million a year. Hey, take my phone, sir.
And he did
you
it.
baby.
I
And he
wouldn't have
did
done
it.
You baby.
And then he doubled down.
You
can
baby.
you can always say, like, I don't know, like, hey, if that were me, I would have killed that guy and stabbed him in the neck with a fork. You don't know that. But I know if I was in a work situation and someone said, hand me your phone, I would say, no.
What?
No. Now, maybe when I was younger, it'd be different.
I
Probably
do think
different
in
thing
certain
when you're younger.
situations I would react, and I know you're in the moment. I truly do. Certain situations, when I say that I would do something, I really believe I would. I really do. I think I would put my life in danger. I think I would stand up for myself in different situations that we bring up on this show. So when I say that, I truly believe.
Would you put your life in danger for me or Charlie?
If something went down, yeah, it would be
Who
a react.
first?
It'd be a react. No, I wouldn't.
You can only say
it'd
one
be a-
person.
Ooh.
Who would you say first? We're on a raft.
Okay.
And we're all three
Well-
drowning. Cole, myself, and Charlie. Who do you say first?
Probably Cole, because he's the youngest.
Thank you.
You lived a long, good
That's
life,
fair.
Jimmy. Although, you know,
So me versus Cat, just Cat and I.
Just because I'm
man.
older?
Same argument.
probably.
I think that's fair, though. That's what I would do.
Yeah.
I would actually say the
If
youngest person.
You have to.
You have to.
If we were in that situation, you got to.
Now,
You know what I mean? Now, me and you, like, you know, you got kids. I don't. We're the same
You have
age.
Pate.
I know.
You have dogs.
But I don't have kids, though. So if me and you were too close in age, but you got children, you know what I mean? Like, I think I'd have to sacrifice. You know what I mean?
So you would
what I
die
would
for
do?
me?
I think I would have, if,
You would die for me.
I think,
Thank you,
I don't
Cam.
know, man.
Thank you.
probably not.
Okay, here's how I would handle that. I would save the one person that was easiest to save, that would put my life at risk less. That's how I would analyze it. Not about who had kids, age, who I could get to easiest without putting myself in danger. And then I would immediately tweet out that I saved someone's life so I could virtue signal.
That's exactly right. Recovering alcoholic chimes in and goes, "Hey, Cam, if Titus asked my phone, he'd call my wife and tell her how small my pecker is." That is true. Titus Dare used to coach me back in the day. My dad almost got in a fight with him, and then they became buddies. Titus
It
Dare.
always happens like that.
I know.
You don't like
My
the
dad
coach at first, but then years later,
My dad stayed out of the crap.
you appreciate him.
My dad was really good at staying out all the drama that I hear inadvertently so much in the hockey world around St. Louis. It's so bizarro land with some of the arguments. 6, 7-year-old kids, parents fighting like, "My kid needs to make this team." Ah! Calm down. They're 6 years old. In 2 years, you're going to look back on that and be like, it didn't matter. It didn't matter.
No.
They're psychos.
Plus, cash is king. You don't need to argue and get violent. Just slip a few
Fill out
bucks to
that.
somebody. Right? That's how America works.
We know what Charlie would do. Kids, your ass is goodbye. Kiss your ass is goodbye. He won't even get up or give up a seat on an airplane to a first responder or senior citizen wanting to see their grandchildren for the last time. So what do you think he's going to do?
Now without a voucher.
Charlie would probably.
Now without a voucher.
Charlie would be that guy in the submarine that stole all the extra oxygen. He's like, "I don't know what's going on." And we're all like, "Ka, ka." And he's just like,
You wouldn't steal it?
I don't know.
Hey, at that point, that's Lord of the Flies, baby. Only one person surviving.
You might be right on that.
100%.
Charlie,
100%.
Where'd all the oxygen? Get up, Charlie. Turn around. Let me look at you.
That's Lord of the Flies.
And then, that was a damn good book. Then we'd start fighting and brawling. Oh, yeah, dude.
Well, you win that, so I'd have to. Hey, look, knowing that you would physically dominate everyone, I would have to
But
kill
you might need me.
No, but I would have to kill you in your sleep.
You might need me.
Let's be honest.
You might need me
If
for
I have to
something.
survive, I have to ice pick your neck when you're sleeping. That's my only chance.
Yeah, you have to
because you're
slit my
going to
throat.
physically
You'd have
you're
to
going
just
to
kill me.
physically dominate me.
You'd have to slit my throat.
I mean, that's on day 2 with no food. That's what you start to think
And I'm
about.
starting to look at you like, And then you're like, oh, he's giving me that look again.
Clip that off,
He's
too,
giving me that
please.
look again.
Look at that big old fleshy hamstring.
Then I ain't going to
Play
bed.
that out of context.
I'm not going to go. I'm not going to go to bed. I'm just going to keep one eye open, just like when you're back in Vietnam and you're supposed to stand your ground and you got to stay awake while everybody's in there. You know what I mean?
Awful story.
What?
I've said it before, but I read this book, for about 100 pages, then I stopped. But it was that Putin book.
Putin.
It was about the siege of Leningrad. I know I've said this before, but you're talking about when hunger kicks in.
Yes, sir.
And people are literally dying. I mean, there were millions of people who died. But you have people killing each other for your bread carts to go get your bread ration. You have mothers who are having to basically smother one child to save the other. Those are the literal decisions being made when you have nothing to eat. I know I took it in a serious point,
man.
but that actually happened, where you have to make a decision as a parent. You have multiple kids, and you only have enough food for one or two of them.
I like to believe that the spirit of this show would kick in.
I think you're
and
right.
we would all agree to perish together as one. One dais, one group, one spirit. We'll all pass on together.
I'm not signing that contract.
Me either.
My son is the anti-Charlie. Took shrapnel for people he didn't even know. Enjoy the flight, Charlie. Gino.
Oh, Gino.
You
Gino
are the
loves me.
opposite.
Gino
You wouldn't be a
DMs
good
me.
soldier.
Oh, I'd be a
You
great
wouldn't
soldier.
be. You'd leave your post. You would leave your post like Bergdahl.
Stop that.
Like Bergdahl.
Oh, stop that. Gino DMs
And then
me.
Obama would bring your family into the Rose Garden.
Gino DMs me all the time.
Do you respond?
Of course.
Yeah.
He loves talking sports.
Yeah.
Listen, man, I would have given those people a seat for a voucher. Southwest. That's Southwest's fault, not mine. 100%. That's not even debatable. It was my seat.
Could have been a better.
You wouldn't. None of you would have done it. None of you would have.
Cam and Charlie remind me of the Smother Brothers. What's that mean?
Smothers Brothers.
They were a comedy duo.
When, like the
Dick
70s?
and Dan Smothers. They had a show. Yeah, back in the
I'll take that.
60s, maybe.
So was that a compliment?
I don't know. You guys should have asked Kiz where he would want to be traded next offseason.
Dick
Mike
and Tommy
Romo.
Smothers. My bad. Sorry, just kicked in.
Yeah, we didn't get to that.